Hey guys, in one of my previous videos, I set up a WordPress installation from scratch on localhost, and then I gave it its own local domain so I could access it through http://mysite1.local. However, everything on the internet now is SSL, so we really need to be able to replicate the SSL functionality on localhost. That way we can access our websites locally through HTTPS, for example, https://mysite1.local. So we're going to go ahead and show you how to get that set up today. The first thing you'll need to do is open your Windows Subsystem for Linux installation. So you get a terminal up and going. I have one open right here. It's always a good idea to update and upgrade your packages, so we'll do that first with sudo apt update, sudo apt upgrade. All right, so I'm good here. The next thing we'll want to do is install Open SSL, and we can do that by typing sudo apt install Open SSL. Okay, great. So now we got Open SSL installed. We do want to tell Apache that it can now use SSL, and we do that by typing sudo a2nmod SSL, and that was configured, so now we need to restart Apache. Sudo systemctl restart Apache 2. Great. And now we're going to be using OpenSSL to generate self-signed certificates and key files. So we need a folder to house those files. So we're going to go ahead and make a folder. We're going to first go to our etc Apache 2 folder here. We go to ls. So here we're going to want to create a folder called SSL. So we'll do sudo make directory SSL, and then we're going to want to go into that directory cd SSL, and now there's a long command from OpenSSL that will generate key files and certificate files for our local domains. I'll explain the commands to you, and I'll put the commands in the description of this video and on my website. After we input this command, it's going to ask us a series of prompts to basically fill out our certificate. So I'll go ahead and paste the command here and explain it to you guys. Make my window a little bit bigger. Okay, so what we have here is a command using SSL, and it's going to create our keyout and out files, which are .key and .crt files. What you'll want to pay attention here to is the days. Right here it's set to 365. I always set mine longer because I'm going to be using them for longer than a year. So I set it to 9999. I don't know how many years that amount of days is, but it's a long time. And then we need to pay attention to our key out and out file paths. So these directories or file paths are going to be inside that folder we just created. So we're going to do etc Apache 2 SSL mysite1.local.key, and then out will be the same path and mysite1.local.crt. I do recommend you can name these keys anything you want. I found it easier visually to just name them the site name and then with the extension .key or .crt. So if your site's name was, I don't know, like Random Adventures, you would have randomadventures.local.key and randomadventures.local.crt. So we'll go ahead and create these certificate and key files. And now it's going to run us through the prompts, and we'll go through these prompts here together. It wants your country name or your two-letter code for your country name. I'll put US. The state or province, I'm in Indiana. Your locality name, You can put whatever you want here. It doesn't have to be super specific. I'll put some city. Your organization name, I'll put Scott's Web Dev. And then your unit name, I'll put development. Your common name, I'll put my local domain here, which is mysite1.local. And my email address, I'll always just put webmaster@localhost. And that's it. So we're still inside of our SSL folder, and if we view the contents here, we can see that we have a certificate file and a key file for our local domain. The next step we'll want to do is incorporate these files into the Apache configuration for that site, so this site knows to use these files for its SSL. So to do that, we'll go to our sites available folder inside of Apache. Go cd etc Apache 2 sites available. Sorry about that. If we see the contents inside of here, we'll see our virtual host for our site that we set up earlier. So we're going to want to edit this configuration file. So I'm going to use Vim. You could also do this using VS Code or Notepad or whatever editor is your favorite editor. I'm going to go ahead and do it on the command line. Okay. And I had already done this, but before it was virtual host port 80. So we changed port 80 to port 443. That's the default port for SSL. Everything else remains the same except for this bit we put in here. And I actually had a syntax error in here. So it's SSL engine space on. And then you set your SSL certificate file to the file in the folder you just created that ends in CRT. You set your SSL certificate key file equal to the key file path that you set in that folder you created. And that's the only changes that we made to this file. So after you make those changes, we'll go ahead and save this file. And now we need to enable our site since we changed the configuration. So we'll do sudo a2 insite mysite1.local. And now we need to restart Apache. Whoops, sorry. Sudo systemctl reload Apache 2. We didn't get any errors here, so the moment of truth, we'll want to open up our browser and type in our local domain with the HTTPS protocol. So HTTPS mysite1.local. Bring it up. Now you are going to run into this your connection is not private screen. This is good. This means that it's reading your SSL, but with the self-signed certificate, Chrome is going to give you this error. There are ways to add this site to your Chrome's trusted web store for certificates so that this error doesn't show up, but this error isn't really that big of a problem. All you do is click advanced and proceed to mysite1.local. And then you're up and running, and you'll see here we're on HTTPS. Once we get that site trusted by Chrome, then that will go away and you'll see secure. But right now you're running HTTPS on localhost, so everything is encrypted. Everything is being served over SSL. You now have functionality available to you that you didn't before, like curl requests and file get contents and API calls and a bunch of stuff that forces you to use SSL. So basically you would repeat that process for every virtual host that you have on your system, and then every site will be available to you over HTTPS. And that's really a big leap up in development so that you can match your site, you can be secure. There are a few things that you'll have to do differently because you are using a self-signed certificate, but we can get to that in later videos, but mostly once you get this configured, all of your SSL stuff is going to work out of the box. I know this set of directions was a little bit more advanced than what I've covered in the past, so like I said, I will copy this into my video's description and on my website. I hope this was helpful for you. If it was, please like the video, comment, subscribe to my channel. If you have any issues setting it up, let me know. Leave a comment. I'll try to get to it as soon as I can. Thank you for watching my video.